All right. This is our 3.0 RC release candidate 3 demo. And just to give a roundup on what's in this release, some of the key features include support for two-factor authentication. Uh, this is one of the critical security features of Magento 2.4 release, and Mftf now has support for it. We've introduced a new static check called the annotations check. We've also introduced rule set for static checks and also an upgrade script for removing unused arguments. So with that, I will pass it over to G to talk about the two-factor authentication support. G, are you on?
Yeah, yes, I'm here. Let me share my screen. Magento 2FA is part of the security package. When it's installed, it will automatically enable 2FA for 2.4.0 release. In order to use 2FA, in order to use Mftf test with 2FA, you need to configure Magento and Mftf. In the Magento side, there's 3 Magento CLI command that you need to perform. First, you need to set Google Authenticator as Magento's 2FA provider. Then you set OTP window to 60 seconds. And most importantly, you set base 32 encoded secret string named as OTP shared secrets for Google Authenticator to generate OTP for the default admin user. So in the following command, you specify the Magento admin username, which should be the one you use in your .env, and make sure the OTP shared secrets is base 32 encoded. Otherwise, you will get decryption error. So in the Mftf side, you have to you have to save the OTP shared secrets in Mftf credential storage using the following paths. And this credential storage can be either in your credential files or the Vault or AWS Secrets Manager. We also introduced a new Mftf action called get OTP. This command is used to generate a one-time password based on the shared secrets for admin user. Internally, we use the Pocky Labs OTP library to implement this feature. So if you want to find out more information, you can referencing the documentation there. The usage for this action is just get OTP and step key. You use the return value through the step key. So what's the impact of tests and build with 2FA enabled? Hopefully with the effort from the security package from CIA team, and also this will be a seamless for most of the Mftf users. There's a merge file created for admin login action group, which use helpers in two-factor auth module from the security package, which taking care of the default and customer admin users login. And in the build side, the OTP shared secrets for use for the Jenkins is stored in MTS AWS Secrets Manager, and it will be retrieved for the functional test in build when 2FA is enabled. Then I will show some examples. So I have a Magento tool with security package installed. This is a fresh install. I did set up the 3 Magento CLI to get started. I will show you the merge file from the security package, the 2WA two-factor auth, and you can see that there's helper functions. The first one is used to set the shared secrets. This is a merged steps for the admin login action group. It will be merged in at a certain step where the Google Authenticator, the OTP code is needed. And in the code, we will check if it's the default admin user, then we don't need to set any more secrets for the user. And if it's a customer admin, then we will again set this user with the shared secrets. Another piece is the field OTP. This is just calling the WebDrivers versions get OTP and filling the field. Let's look at the tests. So this is I'm going to run the admin login successful test. This is without any modification. Let's see how we handle the 2FA now. So the user was logged in and filled OTP code. So we get a successful build. I think that's the end of my demo. I want to thank you for, it's a great teamwork between the CIA team and the MTS and the Mftf team. Thank you. I'm turning back to the next presenter.
Thank you, G. It was a cool presentation. Very, very helpful for everyone.
Thanks, G. Right, so the next topic is new static check for annotations. Tom, are you on?
Yeah, can you share your screen again?
Yes.
I don't have the PowerPoint.
Okay. No?
Okay, so this is a new static check, like all the other static checks we've been adding recently. It doesn't check anything new. You already see these warnings about missing annotations or um, combinations of annotations that are not unique. You already see these when you generate tests. They show up as deprecation warnings. I'm sure you're all familiar with that big wall of errors that you see. This just moves it to a static check, so that way you can run it without generating tests, um, and it reports to the command line and to a file, and it will be used in the future when we enable these static checks in builds before anything runs. So checks the same thing. We also have a plan in the future to add additional checks to this. David Haker has requested a bunch of other things to be checked as well. So we have a plan. This lays the groundwork to add more to it. And the third line there is how you use it, just like all the other static checks, and that's what the output looks like. That's really all for it. I think G maybe has even started fixing some of these annotation warnings. I hope I'm right about that, G, but that's cool too.
Yeah, that's correct.
Cool. That's all for that.
Right. Static checks rule set. Kevin, are you on? Don't see Kevin on the call. Let me just quickly talk a little bit about rule sets. So what we've done is in order to run static checks on CI/CD more efficiently without having to release new versions of Mftf whenever we enable a certain static check, we've introduced this static checks rule set JSON file, which resides in the Magento code base, and that kind of defines what static checks are enabled. If you're looking at embedded Magento, it would be present under dev test acceptance static checks rule set, and if you're looking at standalone, it will be under the dev folder. So this would help us easily turn on and off certain static checks on our CI/CD platform. So yeah, that's about it. Right, and we've also introduced a new upgrade script called remove unused arguments. So what this essentially does is it removes arguments that are not being used in a certain action group from the argument section. So the way you would run this script would be using the upgrade test command that I'll show you in a bit. We've also enabled the action group arguments check in the static rule set so that we prevent introduction of unused arguments in code going forward when we enable this on our CI/CD platform. I'll quickly show you a small little demo. So let's see. Right now I'm on the mainline branch and I'm running the upgrade test command. So as you see, we've added remove unused arguments into the upgrade test command. And what this does is it scans all action groups and checks if there are unused arguments in them and goes and removes them and edits the file. So we have removed unused arguments from the mainline branches as well as the core bundle extension branches for 2.4. So if you look at this, you'll see 23 files have been removed, have been edited for removal of unused action groups. Look at this. You see these arguments being removed, and these have been committed to the mainline branches. I think it's still waiting in the queue to be merged. So this is sort of a code cleanup script, and this will help clean up action groups for unused arguments. And some other enhancements and fixes that are part of this release are, in order to support Chrome 75 and above, we've introduced a new driver capability called Unhandled prompt behavior. I was just failing a couple of tests which have unhandled prompts opening up on the browser. We've also fixed a small issue with usage of helper in suites. Also fixed a couple of issues with data entity creation during deprecation of secrets and merging of array items in data entity. I think that concludes our demo. Does anybody have any questions? All right, so feel free to ping us on Mftf Slack channel if you see any issues using this release, or if you have any questions or comments. So RC3 is currently being delivered to the mainline branches. It's still in the queue, so should be available for you soon. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Is there anything else from anybody before we wrap up?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks for joining. Have a great day. See y'all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You too. Bye.